My best friends, I'm Tabby.
And I'm Caitlin, and today we are discussing Kingdom of the Feared, the third in the trilogy by
The
Kerri Maniscalco.
final
The
in the
final.
trilogy. Well, it's a trilogy, obviously,
Oh, yeah.
but
3 out of 3. We can count.
we've made it. So this was my second time reading it. The first time I read it, I would have given it a 10 out of 10. Reading it the second time, though, I was like, I'm a little confused by some plot points in it. I still gave it like a 9.24 out of 10.
Solid.
But yeah, like still a very solid rating. But just like the plot points that were a little unnecessary really threw me off, kind of took me out of the story sometimes.
Yeah. And I think, like, I'm just assuming she's doing that because she's going to write, like, the spin-off
And
series.
that's what I figured.
But it does get to be, like, a lot to consume at once. I
And I'm
agree.
like, who are these people?
Yeah. Sorry, who are you? Do you even
Where
know?
is this?
I will say this is my first time reading it. I would give it a 12 out of 10 first impression.
Wow.
Definitely my favorite of the three books. And whenever we kind of get to the part where we're talking about the things that we liked and disliked, I can kind of put some reasons behind that.
Sure.
But I really liked it.
Yeah, no, it was a great ending. I loved it. She set it up perfectly for future books.
I
And I
know.
really hope we get to meet each of the brothers in future books.
Come on, Carrie, we're waiting on
Let's
you.
go, Kerri.
So I will read for us the description of the book on Goodreads. Amelia is reeling from the shocking discovery that her twin sister, Vittoria, is alive. But before she faces the demons of her past, Amelia yearns to claim her king, the seductive Prince of Wrath, in the flesh. Amelia doesn't simply desire his body, she wants his heart and soul, but that's something the enigmatic demon can't promise her. When a high-ranking member of House Greed is assassinated, Amelia and Wrath are drawn to the rival demon court. Damning evidence points to Vittoria as the murderer, and she's quickly declared an enemy of the Seven Circles. Despite her betrayal, Amelia will do anything to solve this new mystery and find out who her sister really is. Together, Amelia and Wrath play a sin-fueled game of deception as they work to stop the unrest that's brewing between witches, demons, shapeshifters, and the most treacherous foes of all, the feared. Amelia was warned that when it came to the wicked, nothing was as it seemed. But have the true villains been much closer all along? When the truth is finally revealed, it just might end up costing Amelia her heart. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
It says, two curses, one prophecy, a reckoning all have feared, and a love more powerful than fate. All hail the king and queen of hell.
Oh my
Second.
God, stop.
I love that it's like cost her heart because her heart's ripped out of her chest.
Because it's quite literally stolen from her. Also, it's like she did basically just read us the entire book.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't get it unless you read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. Let's talk about some characters. There's not a ton of new ones, but we do see so much character growth in this final book. So we'll start with
Yeah.
Amelia.
I felt proud of her. At the end of this book, I was like thinking back to how she was in the first book, and I genuinely felt proud of her. Like I had like a stake in her like growth and character development. And so I think that that's something that Kerri has really managed to do well to make us really appreciate and love Amelia's character, even though we find out that she actually was a raging cunt when she was like the
She
goddess
was
of
like
fury.
actually the freaking worst.
Her and her sister were like straight up bitches, like so bitchy that they got fucking cursed for 20 years.
Like I'm surprised Wrath was like, that's my girl. Like
That's
I
my
need
girl.
her.
And I'm gonna stand beside her.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I love her. I love
Well, and it's like my poor sweet Amelia has been through it.
her.
She's
Yeah,
been through it.
she
And it's
has.
just like every chapter, it's just like more trauma
I
that she's just
know.
witnessing. And she's like, all right, well, I
But that's
guess
what's
that's
like,
happening.
I think she really needed it. And like this helped her face like the
It was a
things
wake
that
up call.
led to the curse. Yeah. And she was like, oh, I don't actually want that life back for myself. Like I want like a different life and a better one.
it's just funny that like at some point in every single one of the books, she's like, but like, what if it is just a crazy dream? Like maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah, I know. She is Delulu,
We
but
love her.
that's okay. I get it.
Also, like, she was so freaking funny in this book. Like, when they get to Greed's and like they're in the gambling hall, she is just wreaking havoc on this man's like entire court.
That scene is
I was
wild.
cracking up.
Same. And the Duke freaking,
I kind of felt bad for him.
he's like, yeah, let's go. Dick is out. And then he just pisses himself in front of
Dick
everyone.
out.
Check.
No, and it's like at first, like I really do feel like he was trying to be like very polite about it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Is this okay? Like,
Yeah, he was
is
like,
this
oh,
fine? Like,
like
are we
she,
doing this right now?"
yeah, he was like, damn, like she's like, she
Like,
wants
she
this.
wants this.
Yeah. He was into it. I feel
And
bad
then
that she was just straight up making a fool of him.
absolutely like poor Duke of Devon. He didn't deserve that.
You know what? He's probably done some shitty things
He
to
probably has, but he
about.
in that moment he didn't deserve it.
Yeah. He was just minding his business.
She was like,
You're coming home with
you're coming home with me. So I do want to talk about Wrath because I have such not even it's not a love-hate relationship. It's just like there are some red flags.
Yes. Well, yes, I agree. But I will say he did also show a good amount of growth.
He did. He did.
And I felt like he did genuinely like prioritize being respectful of Amelia's wishes. This was like the second book, things were like really kind of debatable whether or not he was respecting her wishes. But then I think it's like during one of their training times, she's like, you crossed a fucking line. And so he works really hard not to push the boundaries again.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, he's just conveniently there all the time. So he gets poisoned, right? By Vittoria and disappears. And then right as Amelia is like making this blood oath against Pride, he's like, "Hey guys, just kidding. Like here I am. Like that's so crazy that you're about to do that. And also I had a special tonic that does counteract this poison. How'd I get it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But
that is
like that's suspicious.
That is a little bit shady.
Or maybe it's just like weird timing.
But do we think that's the intention of that?
I think he was in on her proving her loyalty. And then she took it too far and he was like, "Oh, well, that's crazy that you guys did that. Don't do it again."
Oh
like
my
Envy
God.
was like sending her on this wild goose chase and like Pride was in on it too. And then Wrath just happened to show up. And it's like, I feel like he was in on it as well.
Wait, I think you're right. And I didn't even like consider that.
And here's why I think this. Because before Amelia agrees to have Vittoria like remove her heart, she was like, "Oh, Wrath has actually been like preventing me without like physically preventing me from doing this because they're scared of me."
Yeah.
And so I think, yeah, he was testing her loyalty to see if she really could be trustworthy.
Which, if you think back to like before the curse, like how things kind of started out, she was like actively
she wasn't trustworthy
to deceive him. And yeah, he fell for her, but like she did admit, like, "Hey, I was lying to you all this time," and then
he's like, "That's okay."
Ripped apart. So it's fair, it's valid.
It is, but I do think that's what was going on.
Wow, no, you're so right. I wonder if I would have realized that like on a second read through. Like, yes, that's canon.
I was like, "King, that's shady as fuck."
And he was like threatening his brothers. He was like, "I swear to God, you better not say I was involved in this."
I know. He's like, "I will kill you." And like Pride's just out here like playing dumb too. He was like, "I don't know anything about anything. Why would I just drink here all day?"
She's like, "No, the fuck you do not."
She's like, "You actually don't, but good try." No, and like he also is just like, I feel like the most like oblivious person on the face of this earth, Wrath is, because like Amelia's like in the bathtub just waiting to be absolutely ravished by this man.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, by the way, sorry to break up this like nice moment. There is a blade out there and it can kill me. And she was like, what? Like, okay.
Where is
Like,
it?
read the room. Like, why'd you do that? And then, like, so they finally get together, right? At Greed's house, which I thought was really funny because in the second book, he was like, if we like go through with our marriage, he's like, it's not going to be at my brother's house. And then it totally was.
Yeah.
And but anyway, after that, like Amelia is having like this whole like realization that like she is the goddess of fury and like all these like flashbacks have been her own memories. And he's like, that's really great. I do have to go.
Yeah, he was like, you remember how we like kind of said that we would sign a blood oath to murder your sister? Oh wait, was this was
Yeah, no, like literally they had just gotten done like being
okay.
together and she had this whole thing and he's like, wow, I'm really proud of you. Anyway.
Okay, that was the same thing. There were so many times that yeah, he just like could not read the fucking room.
And I'm like, are you stupid?
I do wonder though, like, and this is just like me like really reading into it. But you know how he was like drinking the potion to like dim his like feelings?
Yeah.
Like, is that why he was never like fully in the moment? Like,
possibly. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense since like anytime like he was feeling like big emotions, like
yeah, he was
you
like,
take it.
anyways, so I'm gonna go.
I have to go really fast.
Yeah,
Don't move. I wonder if in the second book, when they're at the Feast of the Wolves or whatever, when he slips off with Lust, I wonder if it's to go take the tonic.
well, but the only thing that because
But like, does Lust know?
I don't see why Lust wouldn't know. My thing is, I do think there are a lot of times when he would kind of disappear at those moments. And yeah, like he probably was going off to drink that, like knowing what we know now.
But he was doing other things.
But yeah, that time with Lust, if he did go like drink the potion, then why wouldn't he meet back up with her like he said he would?
No, I really wish we had gotten some more information on like where was he?
Yeah, that one is still weird.
And maybe we'll get a Lust book and
yeah,
we'll find out that they're actually in cahoots.
It's possible that like whatever he was doing, he was genuinely just like helping Lust out, and maybe it has nothing to do with Wrath being shady, but like something that Lust just needed to keep on the DL.
Yeah. And like as much as I hate to admit it, I did love Lust way more in this book than I did. Because like in the first book, you hate his freaking guts because it's like you're a bad person. But it's like, no, everyone's a bad person.
I hated
and like
all
we
of
can't pick and choose.
Yeah, no, they're all fucking dicks in the first book. And
Lust was hilarious.
He is genuinely so funny. And I feel like, again, this is kind of with all the princes, but there's something deep down he has cares for the people in his life.
Yeah, I do. And like Cersei even says that too, like at the beginning, because she was like trying to get them all to turn on each other. And she was like, but for whatever reason, like they do care for each other.
Yeah.
And like have an unspoken like loyalty.
Mm-hmm. And I think Amelia kind of like points that out too in her narration. Like they are somewhat loyal to each other.
I loved them all together. They were so freaking funny. And like they are all just like adult children.
Yeah. When they get together, it's kind of like a bunch of like frat boys.
Yes.
But like in a regal way.
And I'm so mad because it's like we'll talk about all of them, but like Sloth is not getting the spotlight that he deserves.
I think I'll really love him.
And I love him.
I want to marry Sloth. That's who I want. Give me that one.
It's just such a disjustice. And I also feel like Sloth is like definitely in on something with Greed too, because he was hiding like the whole thing about Vesta and he wasn't wanting to really divulge like any information about it. Because Amelia was like, oh, could this be possible? And he was like, I mean, I guess, but he's probably like, not.
Anything's possible.
So yeah, I feel like Sloth and Greed are working on they're cooking up something for us.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Greed a little bit more really quick?
I do. You know, Greed's real problematic. Yeah. So first of all, we find out he is just absolutely snatching children, like from their parents' arms in the dead of night. he is stealing kids.
What are you gonna do?
And then is like pissed about it when said kids are like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here.
He's like, what? You
Like,
have a
why do you
kid
want
here.
to leave?
I'm like, I understand why he would like do it in the first place, because like, greed. But like, why does he genuinely think that they're loyal to him? Like he felt like
Right.
genuinely
Like
betrayed.
you stole her.
Yeah. And he was like, wait, you're not like loving your life here?
You don't love it? You're not having fun?
I just can't understand him. And like
I think
also,
they're all just incredibly dense and they don't
yeah,
understand why people would not want to just pledge their undying loyalty to them.
yes, because also that's how Pride lost his fucking wife, because she was like, well, he's just like kind of dating other women
And
and
I'm not into
stuff.
that.
And he's like, wait, my wife, she just left in the middle of the night? Like, what's
He
going
was like, you don't love me? Like,
on? What's going on?
yeah, they're all so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Each
agree.
and every one of them, including Wrath. Wrath included in that. Like,
Yeah,
they're all dumb.
yeah.
Except for Envy.
Yes, he's a calculating
And
motherfucker.
except for Envy, he is so smart and he has big feelings.
I love
And
him.
I love him so much.
He's actually my favorite.
Mine too.
I was so like touched. I was so touched whenever Amelia was like kind of kidnapped by Victoria and the whole thing was going on. They were like testing her loyalty. She was freaking crying. And so he says he extended a hand. Tears streamed down my face as I stared at it, my sobs nearly choking me now. Rise, he said softly, just as they always feared you
I
would.
know, I got goosebumps.
Because she was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. I'm crying in front of him. He's going to kick me when I'm down. He was like, no, get the fuck up. Dust
Stand up, you
yourself off.
queen.
Slay, queen.
Like, get you an Envy. At one point, Amelia was like, could Envy have murdered Vesta? And Roth was like, Envy? Like,
No,
no.
he's a cinnamon roll. Okay.
He's like, he is a lot of things, but he would never murder anyone. And I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, because he's a big old softie.
he's a softie for sure.
He's a little scary, but
Well, yeah, they all kind of can be. I also like, I want to know like what is going on with him and Victoria. Like, he is always avoiding her. I don't know what went down back in the day, but it kind of makes you wonder, because Amelia is even like, is there chemistry here? Like, what's going on?
yeah. And it's like, I don't think it is because, like,
I
the
don't
new
either.
book is coming out and, like, it's a different female main character. And so I don't think there's, like, any love connection between the two. I think Victoria is just extremely good at pissing him off. And I think before, like, I think maybe Envy had figured out what they were doing before they, like, were placed into like their new bodies and stuff. And so
Mm.
I think, yeah, Envy just has a really hard time. And I think that's why he's kind of mean to Amelia too, because
Mhm.
like he knew they were fucking around with his brothers.
It is
And
weird though that he would be like nicer to Amelia though than Victoria.
well, because I think he realized that like she hadn't fully gotten her memories back and
Yeah.
like she is truly a kind, gentle soul, like
Yeah.
at the heart of it. And Victoria's like a crazy bitch.
Victoria's like, I would fucking do it again.
And I'll do it again.
So let's talk about gluttony. Gluttony.
I love him.
Yes, he honestly, I thought it was so freaking sweet whenever he or like Wrath showed up with the horse, the hell horse that Amelia was riding on his
Yep.
grounds, because he was like, you used to sneak onto his grounds and like ride the horse. And so Gluttony knew that back when Amelia didn't know who she was. And he was like, I think
Yeah.
you should like get on that horse and just kind of go for it.
Give her a go.
Yeah, I thought that was like so
He
cute.
is the only pure-hearted one of this whole bunch. Like
Yeah.
unproblematic.
He's the only
He
one without an agenda, it feels like.
yeah, like he's just out here straight vibes, like wanting to help Amelia in any way he can without outright saying it.
Yeah.
Like a true bestie.
And he always kind of like helps his brothers out like when they need it. I feel
Yeah,
like he's just kind of there. He's Switzerland, you know?
he is. He is our little neutral king. You know who's not neutral though? Is Pride.
he's got an agenda. I don't know what it is.
I am so confused about him and Greed and what they've got going on because no questions were answered.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
so
again, she's
Pride's,
probably saving it for.
I know. So it's like another layer has been added to Pride now that we know that Claudia is actually his ex-wife who
Yeah.
went into hiding. And he's got some weird love triangle going on with
Mhm.
Claudia and Vittoria and himself because I do think he maybe caught feelings for her.
Yes, I'm sure that he did. And something else that I thought was not very believable is that Lucia literally like chose to just like wipe her memory of him just be like there has to have been something else going on, right?
He
Like
had
that
to have
just
done
feels,
something absolutely heinous.
yeah, it feels dramatic that she wouldn't just be like, "Hey, can you stop courting other women?" Like she
Or
wouldn't even
like,
ask
hey,
him that.
I'm not really like feeling this anymore. Like, I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So like why? It just doesn't add up.
No, no. And like, I really hope the friendship between Lucia and the twins like isn't broken because they were best of friends, when they were in the quarter or whatever. And I hope this doesn't break that friendship.
I know. I don't think Amelia and Lucia will have a problem. It's
It's gonna
possible
be
that
Victoria.
Victoria would there would be
She
an
got
issue.
a problem with everybody.
Um, she really do be making enemies left and right. But another thing that's interesting about Pride is we keep focusing on the fact that he has a scar. Um,
Yeah.
and that kind of goes against like his namesake. Like if you're prideful, why would you allow a scar
Unless
to
he's
have
proud of the scar.
right? Unless he's proud of the scar, yeah. So it's like, is it something that one, is he proud of the scar for some reason? Two, is he so like hurt by something that happened that he like forced the scar as a reminder? Or like three, was there a point when he was like weak and his magic couldn't heal him and
I
he's
wonder if when they were like cast out of heaven, like he got the scar and just like kept it.
ooh, that would be
Or
kind
maybe like he got it after Lucia left.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested.
What
Yeah,
the-
because they keep drawing, notice that, and they draw a lot of attention to the fact that like he's completely sober all the time, but like pretends to be a drunk, and he still has all that slumber root
Yeah.
that we never touched on again.
A little fishy.
It's a little fishy. Oh, and like one more thing about Greed too. I think he clearly, obviously, orchestrated this whole thing with like the witches showing up at his doorstep
Yeah.
and like trying to make Amelia look bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, is he in cahoots with the witches as well?
I wouldn't be surprised because,
How'd they get there? You know? How'd they get
yeah.
there?
No, yeah. How did they get there? Hmm.
Like, and you just didn't know?
And you just like let it get to that point?
Sounds like your borders are very secure, bud.
No, yeah, that is weird. Unless another prince helped them.
But which one?
I don't know.
No, I think Greed's got his own personal vendetta and he's really just working every angle.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what his end game is, but I agree
I
with
mean,
you.
I'm interested. I'm excited to see. I hope we
Mhm.
get a book on him
Yeah.
next.
Celestia, I'm confused. Are you confused? A little bit?
She
What
seems
is
like
she
a
doing?
really bad mom.
Well, yeah, she like has a favorite daughter, for one.
Yeah, clearly.
Also just kind of like disappeared again because she showed up to help Amelia because Amelia is her favorite daughter.
And Amelia owes her a favor.
It's true. It's true. And then just kind of like disappeared again. So I was like, okay, but she also, one, she was pretending to be Celestia, like working for Wrath or whatever. The other thing she was doing was working with the Star Witches in the second book whenever Amelia shows up to get the triple moon mirror. She's there with the Star Witches. And I'm like, okay. So who all knows that she's the crone? Is it just Amelia or do all of these people know she's the crone?
I
None of them.
don't know.
I'm like, are you? Like, do the witches know you're the crone, or do they think you're a witch? I don't get it.
I'm
And like,
not
does she look
sure.
different when she shows up these different places?
No, she was pretty badass just showing up at that tree though. Like that was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I
But
know.
yeah, and then she's dipped and she's like, but don't forget my book, bitch.
Yeah, she said, "Don't forget my book, bitch." And then she came and rescued Amelia's ass again. She was like, "Okay, don't forget the book. I'll be
It's
back for
like, did
that."
she get her book back? Like,
No, not yet. She hasn't come for it. Like,
what
take it.
a loose end here.
I really don't, I don't understand. And also just like, I
I don't know
guess
if it's
the
a plot point or
goddesses
if it
just,
was sloppy writing.
it
I
could
would
be.
hate to believe that it's sloppy writing, but it
I
could
don't
be.
know. She could kind of like tie up the loose ends later on because clearly
Maybe
we
Victoria will get
barely
a
know
book.
anything. Ooh,
Victoria's gonna get a book and we'll see why they have beef against each other.
yeah.
Besides Victoria being an absolute cow.
I know, but like so is Celestia. So like if we're gonna
And
be
so was Amelia growing up. Like,
yeah, they're all bitches.
yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of Celestia
Same.
until I know more. I just did not get nearly enough fauna in this book.
Give us more fauna
Give
and a
me more
near.
fauna. Yeah, where was it near?
Yeah.
Fauna is just such a homie. She's a bestie girl every single time, comes through when Amelia needs her, watched over her basically dead body
What
while
I
Amelia
thought,
was out here spirit walking.
what I thought was so like wholesome too is Amelia was like expressing to Fauna basically like her fear of becoming her full goddess self again. And so when she comes back and she's a full goddess again, at first Fauna is like, did they fucking force this on you? And as soon as
I
Amelia's
know.
like, no, 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 I chose it. She's like, okay, just checking. Because I was
She's
about
like,
to
I'm a
fucking
little
crack a
scared of you.
bitch.
I'm not gonna lie, but I will step up for you.
She was like, I was going to go fucking fight the goddess of death on your behalf because I'm just that real.
I'm 100% that bitch.
She really is. If I had to pick
Yeah.
my
And
favorite
it's like,
character,
and then we just didn't really see her again
no, but she
in
got
that
to sleep with
capacity.
a near, and I think they're like a thing now.
So happy for them for that. And I did think it was really funny that when the vampires randomly showed up, that Wrath was like, all right, everybody go dress up. We're gonna
Yeah,
play a little trick on them.
he's like, we're gonna wear these like little berries, and they'll get it. They'll get it.
It's gonna be like really funny.
And everyone's like, okie dokie.
And he's like, but make sure you have your sword strapped on you somewhere they can't see him.
Can we just talk about Antonio really quick?
Rest in peace, poor sweet Antonio. I'm sorry for all the bad things I've ever said about you. You
Like
did
a
not
whole
deserve
lot to
that.
say. Got fucking murdered.
Man, I said some shit about him, but like
Victoria's like, Victoria's like, no, 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 he misunderstood. I told his dumbass that he could be reunited with his dead
she
mom.
said, I'm gonna send you to see your mom again.
And Amelia was like, please, is there something we can do? And Celestia's like, no.
No, he's sorry.
Sorry for your loss. The fact that he was like, he was alive 1 second and then he wasn't.
Oh my God. And he was like, don't worry, Amelia. Like, she said, I'm gonna go see my mom again and she's gonna bring her back. You poor sweet fool.
It's fine. It's,
She's keeping you in a dungeon. Did you
what?
think she was just gonna let you go?
True, true. Like, yeah, why were you in a dungeon then?
Like, you haven't eaten in days.
And to be honest, it's not like he had a whole lot going on for him on like
No, it's
his
like you're gonna go back to
earthly
the
life.
Brotherhood.
Yeah. So it's fine. Which I mean, honestly, he was like already in hell anyway, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So, like, he was like already dead. And so
Now,
she just made
wait.
him like permanently dead? Or
So
like, is he
she
gonna reincarnate? Because now that we know they were in hell still, like,
maybe what she did is she sent him to his mother's version of the Shifting Isles.
yeah, because it's like, it's just like a never ending cycle in the shifting isles. Like, you are dead, but your soul just keeps on reincarnating, which is kind of trippy when you think about it.
Yeah. Because like whenever he thought, oh, my mom died, that means that her like soul or whatever just went to a different version of the shifting eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure she did send him back to wherever his mom's at. But
And now that Amelia knows that, I feel like she's less sad about it. But
yeah,
at the
true.
time, I was like, oh no.
Like I literally just thought of that. I was like, wait,
Yeah, it
he was
makes me a
already dead.
little less sad for him now
Okay.
because he
Well,
had already passed on.
yeah, he was already resting, not in peace, but
No, very unpeacefully.
so maybe rest a little bit more peacefully this time around.
Love you, King.
Um, Speaking of Victoria, though, I
I can't get behind it. I
I
can't.
know, I know that, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like her a little bit now.
More than I did.
But like, I would go so far as to say that I just kind of like genuinely like her.
Hmm. She's shady. She's a shady one.
She's very shady. I think it's kind of endearing though, like how fucking
But
ruthless
she
she is.
means well.
I mean, she's
For
got the
Amelia,
like
at least.
true. I think that
Everyone else, no one is safe.
no, not at all. Because with Victoria, I think she's got her own ethical code that she lives by, and it's not in alignment with a lot of others.
You know what? I wonder if before they like were transferred into these bodies, if like she had been wheeling and dealing with like the other princes and like had some shady back stuff going on, and like that's why they're all so pissed at her because
Oh.
like she's just like reneging on all these deals.
But I mean, she would be at this point, she would be doing it knowingly because
Right.
like she's got her memories back. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if they'd let her get away with that, really.
We can't keep letting her get away with it.
Honestly, that's the motto for Victoria.
I think her book's gonna be lit though.
Oh, it will be. It'll be like
It's gonna
nonstop
be
surprises.
it's gonna be wild from start to finish.
Yeah. And I hope her book would have more of Domenico. I like him a lot.
I want the best for him.
Yeah.
I hope they do end up together.
Did you like hate him at first though?
Yeah, he was kind of a dick at first.
Yeah.
But
But
like he's still a dick, but I like it.
from the perspective of him being like down bad for Victoria, I kind of like it and I
I
respect
respect the hustle and the
I
loyalty.
respect the hustle. One thing about him that I thought was just like chef's kiss about this book. So Amelia figures out that he can take her to the shifting aisles. So she's just fucking summoning him like he's her own personal Uber.
Oh, waiter.
He's like, okay, but it's gonna hurt a little, and just like sinks his claws into her flesh.
He's like, I'm gonna tickle your bones right now. Like
Yeah, it's like his way of getting back at her for doing it. But it was to the point where like she's just like snapping her fingers, and he's like, "Oh my God, here we go."
he's like, bitch, what do you want?
But I think he kind of liked it. I think she grew on him after a while.
I love him. And I don't know. It just makes me so sad that Victoria is just not even giving him the time of day.
I feel like it's because she knows that because she told Amelia like
He's gonna die
he's not
eventually.
immortal, and I think she's protecting her heart.
Did they make him immortal, do you think?
I don't know how they
Somehow.
would. I don't know.
I hope he finds true love.
I'm sure that there's a way to bestow immortality. Like
There is because the people who won the thing at the competition at the Feast of the Wolves, like,
oh,
were bestowed immortality.
yeah. I would
I think
want
we
that for
should
them.
consider all of our options. Unless she really truly does want pride,
Maybe.
maybe.
I don't think they have chemistry. That's for sure. I mean, that I've seen.
It's gonna be like a whole second chance romance for Pride's book, and I'm not into it.
Blech.
Ugh. Anyway, Vesta
Vesta.
slash Marcella. She
I
was
love her.
just, yes, a pleasant delight in this book.
We don't know a whole lot yet, but from what we know, she's interesting. And I am really excited. I feel like she could possibly be in a lot of the books, but I think like in Greed's future book, she is going to be
Yeah,
a
for
major
sure.
player. And something like really like interesting about her is we don't know who her mom is yet,
Yeah.
which I was thinking like we could kind of discuss during the discussion questions to see what we can kind of talk out. But yeah, I will say I had this one solved before Amelia did, which
I
obviously
did too,
it
yeah.
was being laid out for us, but I was
It
like,
was blatantly
oh
obvious.
my God. Like whenever I like saw it, I was like, holy shit, she's alive. She really is alive. And she's Domenico's
And
half
she's
sister.
well, you know, like
She's thriving. She's back with her family.
I was so happy for them, for their family.
Yeah.
I
But
hope they cherish each other.
a little bit fucked up that they like sacrificed their dad to
Well, you know, their
major
dad did
murder.
just let her get stolen, so
I understand that, but
fuck that guy.
obviously he lived an entire life of regret for it. So I was like, should we have like murdered him so brutally? I don't know. I feel a
You
little.
know, here's the fucked up thing though, is that yes, he maybe regretted it, but that certainly did not stop him from continuing to go to Greed's gambling den.
Yeah, but I think he was at that point he was doing it
Like
like
kind of as like a
as a
penance.
punishment. Yeah. And like I think part of him was hopeful that he would see Vesta there or
Yeah,
Mark.
that makes sense. That makes
But
sense.
yes, obviously, if you gamble away your firstborn, that's kind of on you. I'm not
Good
denying that.
things don't happen to you.
You're right. You're right. It was his karma.
But also, yeah, they're just like, we don't talk about him anymore.
It was pack business. Sorry.
Like, shit, okay.
It just reminds me of in Twilight, whenever Jacob's like, you wouldn't understand it. Like, it won't tell Bella anything.
Like, calm down now.
It's pack business.
Pet business. Um, Nona Maria is still just the absolute fucking worst.
She a bitch.
She's a bitch. And like, she's even more of a bitch because it's like she was just this terrible person this whole time
Yeah.
and was acting like a relatively just sweet old lady.
And
Poor
the parts
Sophia Santorini.
I know. I know. That's the thing
Because
about
she
Nona.
was
She's a
so
shit
scared.
friend. She's a shit person. She betrayed Sophia. She betrayed Amelia and Victoria. She raised these little
Yes.
witches and was like, yes, they look up to me. They love me, and I am lying to their
And
fucking
I'm gonna stomp on them the second I get the chance to.
yeah.
No, and it's just so sad, like for Sophia. And I'm so glad we got to like get more information on her because it's like she thought she had found this great discovery and was like, I need to share this with everyone. And then
Mhm.
thought a demon was attacking her, turned around. She's like, oh my God, no, it's just my best friend, and she's
Mhm.
here to help me. And she's like, sorry to have to do this to you, but
Are
you
you
can't be
sorry?
you can't be knowing these things. And
Oh
she's
my
like,
God.
oh my God.
Nona Maria is the perfect example of your head's just too big. Like Cersei asked her to do her bidding and she was like, "Oh yeah. Like I'm the chosen one. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am her right-hand woman. Like I will betray literally anyone and
And
everything.
Cersei's like,
Stay
that's
here."
great. Like, anyway,
Cersei's like, "Thanks, girl." Anyways,
I'm gonna be over here, but
speaking of Cersei, also a bitch, but she is a fucking helicopter mom.
she is the worst type of mom.
Like your daughter was grown.
You can care too much, I think.
Yeah. And for her to basically like when her daughter came to her all vulnerable and was like, my heart's broken. I don't want to forget him, but like I have to for my heart. And you're just like, okay, yeah,
She's
drink
like, say less.
up. Like,
It was giving Mother Gothel.
oh my God, yes, she is. Mother knows best.
Yes, like she is her.
Mm-hmm.
I know, she's just like, don't worry, mommy's gonna make it better. And then I'm gonna abandon you
Yeah, abandon you and also like
with bad people.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
with arguably the worst people.
don't worry, they're gonna look out for you while mommy's gone.
She's
Um,
like, they're gonna teach you all the dark magic. Don't you even I it's fucked up. It's fucked up that they sent her to Sophia Santorini's family.
yeah, they're like, hey, don't worry about old Sophia. She's just crazy.
That is messed up.
You
And like,
literally
also, can you
scrambled her
watch my
brain.
kid? Thank you.
Yeah.
Kisses.
Well, the rest of them were probably like, yes, we'll do anything so that you don't scramble her brain.
Yeah.
Why
And the
couldn't you keep her
final,
alive at that point?
I don't know, put her out of her fucking misery.
Yeah, they're like, nope, we're gonna leave her like this.
She's gonna suffer here. The final plot twist to this whole book was Claudia. Like, I did not see that coming at all the first time I read it.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about her.
Yeah, and I feel bad, but I had too. And it's funny that we had because I remember whenever we were talking about, especially like the second book, like
Mhm.
Amelia was like thinking about her and was like, yeah, I wonder how she's doing. And we were like, probably not good. Like, but
Yeah.
Kerri kept like kind of reminding us that she existed.
Like, don't forget about her.
Yeah. She's like, teehee. That was a good plot twist. I
I
like,
just think it's so funny though that they were like, let's just fucking send all three of them there.
yeah, they're like
Wash
they
our
can
hands
grow up
completely of
together.
this.
Yeah, they're like if we keep them all in one spot, it'll be easier to keep an eye on them.
Like, nothing bad's gonna happen from this.
Surely they won't like figure it out. I was very sad, like the scene where it was like her memory of choosing to forget Pride, but it's like that's why I feel like there has to be more to the story because
Mhm.
she was so heartbroken. You don't just do all that because you refuse to tell him you don't
Right.
want to court other people.
Well, because Cersei was even like, she is just like a slip of herself. And like every single day, more and more things are happening. And it's like, okay. Well,
Mhm.
she sounds like a very strong woman to begin with. So, like, you would think she'd put her foot down.
Yeah. It's weird. And
I don't get it.
I don't know what's missing from the story, but it doesn't feel
It's
whole.
not right. What were some things that you liked or disliked about the book?
Okay. The most important thing that I liked about this book and the series as a whole, we've said it before, we'll say it again. It's a very original series. I was surprised a lot by the plot twists. And even if I did catch on to like what she was doing, I still was like,
It
whoa,
was
like
still good.
I wouldn't have seen that coming if you didn't tell me kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely like I think that the story is very good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my favorite thing about it overall. I will say also, thank God, Amelia is actually
Yes.
also immortal.
I was just thinking that. I was like, everything I've said before, it was still concerning, but I'm glad that she was
Yeah.
like, don't worry, guys, stay with me here. Like,
Stay with me. It is not an 18-year-old girl. It is a fucking goddess who's actually older than the Prince of Hell, so
yeah.
or the King of Hell. Um,
So she's the cougar, Like,
she's the cougar. She came like centuries before him. So,
uh,
and also like kind of my third thing, the character development, we talked about it like individually with all the characters, but it was great overall throughout this entire book. And I just think it really sets us up to be excited to read like the spin-off books.
yeah.
Because there are times that there will be like, like those series where all the characters are kind of intertwined. And I don't really care a lot about the side characters. And so when their book comes out, I'm like, I don't really care.
But they're
But
interesting.
with these characters, yeah, like she's really developed them and she's
Yeah.
really intrigued you. So
No, absolutely.
I love all of that.
I love that Carrie delivered us just some fucking grade A smut.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and this was her first like adult book she's written.
Oh,
Like,
she did her research.
prior to this, yeah, it was like young adult. And like, I thought it was just so well done.
Yeah. No, genuinely,
Like the
I was
gondola
blushing.
ride.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
please stop. And then even just the scene where Amelia is like trying to like make Wrath like jealous and angry, like that whole thing, I was like, this is provocative.
I know. And I could just like imagine like what Raph looked like. Like
I
he
was like, this is delicious.
it's delightful.
Decadent it was. Yeah, no, every single scene. I thought it was fantastic.
I agree. One other thing that I really liked about Amelia and Raph's love story was I just thought it was like really nice, like a good like parallel for Amelia to choose to give up her power to break the curse so that she and Raph could be together. And then
Yeah.
in return, when they completed their bond, he gifted his wings to her so that they like shared the power now. And so I was like, that is just such a sweet, wholesome, full circle
Yeah.
moment.
And also just very refreshing because like I feel, and I'll use Sarah J. Maas as an example here. It's like sometimes you have characters who just give up their powers
Hmm.
for like the greater good. And
And
like you
usually
haven't,
it's a woman.
it's the female character.
Yeah.
And like that sucks. And it's sad to see like such a strong character have to give that up. And
Alina,
everyone
Shadow and
else,
Bone.
yeah. And everyone else just to keeps living their life like normal.
Yep.
And so,
And
yeah, I
Raph
thought
was
that
like,
was
no,
a
that will
good
not.
way to show they were equals.
Yes. And that was super important to Raph. Like he always said, like, you are my equal, you are my partner. That's what I want and need. And
Yeah.
so I feel like that's him proving it. Like acta non verba. That's his
Yep.
way. And she really stuck to Raph's character throughout this entire book. Like, yes, there may be times that we're like, he's kind of shady, but
But
he
he was
really is.
consistent.
Yeah, he is consistent and he is very much, you can tell, in love with Amelia, or he wouldn't have fucking done that.
Right.
So, acting
Yeah,
on
I
her.
loved it. I loved it.
Same.
Yeah, no, I feel like everything else we kind of threw in with the characters themselves. And I already talked a little bit about just some of the aspects of the storylines. Like the whole fighting ring was weird. Like
Yeah.
the thing with like the vampires was bizarre to me.
And again, it's like,
I
okay,
know it
we
was to
must be setting
introduce
something up,
Cersei,
but it's weird.
but they just appeared out of fucking
But like,
nowhere
why is Cersei with the vampires? That's another thing that's weird.
because he said she could go anywhere in the shifting isles. That's why she asked
She chose to go with the
the
vampire.
vampires. Yeah, I don't know why the vampires. And like they had someone trying to impersonate Amelia. I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck was that about?
They were like, oh, this'll work.
Like, no, it won't.
Wrath was literally like, ew. Who
Like
the fuck
she's
are
right
you?
here.
He's like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I know what my woman smells like, okay?
And then like the whole thing with like the witches just showing up and then Amelia being like, don't do it. And then they just leave.
She kind of like burned some of them to the ground though.
She did murder a lot of them, but like she
Yeah.
was like, Nona, if you love me even a little bit, you will get out of here.
And Nona was like, okay.
And I was like, hey,
That
how about we just like kill her and be done with it, you know?
was weird.
It was weird. Yeah, so it's just stuff like that that I was like, where are we in this book?
Yeah. No, I agree.
And can we get back to the main story?
I agree. And I think probably if I had to guess, is
It's to
Kerri's
set it
just
up.
super excited for all of these storylines she has going on. So she's just
Yeah,
kind of planting seeds.
I
And I
think
get
so.
that. But I do think we could also, as readers, we could do without that. And you can just put it in the new book and we'll
And it'll be
chat.
all right.
Yeah. Because
I'm
like
pretty smart.
it is a little I know. It's a little bit distracting whenever it doesn't actually have to do with the current series.
Yeah, because it felt like at one point they introduced these vampires, and I was like, well, have we met them before? And I just missed it. Like, did I miss like an integral part of the
No. I
storyline?
mean,
No.
other than like Greed has a vampire that works for him.
Yeah, but it's like that wasn't the same person.
Nope. Yeah,
I
and
thought it was
clearly,
Envy. Envy has
oh, sorry,
vampires.
Envy. Yes, it is Envy, and it's Alexei that works for him.
Hmm.
And so Alexei obviously is a part of Envy's court, not even the vampire court. So it's
Yeah,
like, I don't.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Other than that, 10 out of 10 story. It wrapped up great. I loved it.
yeah, agreed. And I will
Um,
say I kind of have like some ideas bouncing around for like what the future stories will be. I think we've kind of talked about some of them already,
mhm.
but I was thinking specifically for Pride's story, I think that Claudia will choose to remember her previous life. Like she'll use that memory stone. And then I just think that I think that Pride's still going to have Cersei held captive and it's going to start like some freaking turmoil. And
Yeah,
I think Lucia is going to immediately like go on the defensive and it's going to be a whole thing.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Or like her and Victoria are gonna like gang up on him.
Yes. Oh my God. And he'll be like, listen, I was just, your mom's a bitch.
Your mom's a hoe. I really do think I'll end up liking Pride's character, maybe.
Yeah, I do
Like if
too.
it's written well.
I already kind of like him. I mean, it's set up. Like the foundation is there for me
He's
to
just so
enjoy
funny on
him.
accident.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, it can't always be an accident, surely.
No. I think I'm probably most excited for Gluttony's story
Yes, I agree.
because I need to know more about the reporter.
I need to know. And like we said, Gluttony is just like such an enjoyable character.
Oh my God.
He's just vibes. And honestly, it's so funny because for being a Prince of Hell, I feel like his biggest mortal fucking enemy is the reporter that he
Is
has
this
the hots for.
reporter?
And so it's like, what, like, are you really like that bored?
He's just got some deep rooted beef with this reporter who's
He's
like,
like,
yeah, I think your parties are underwhelming.
he's like,
And
I
like,
heard you're talking some smack. Yeah, I'm excited for
man,
that. I want that so bad.
read the comment you made on it. Worried for you, bestie.
I am really worried for Green. Everyone's coming for you, buddy.
Man, it's not gonna end good for you.
I like, and again, I don't know what Greed's end game is, but it's like you have made like way too many enemies for it to
You
go
have
your
dug
way.
yourself a grave.
Hopefully, you can alliance your way out of that. I don't know.
Thoughts and prayers, man.
So, yeah, with that, let's kind of just we have a couple discussion questions. I mentioned we should kind of try to theorize about who Marcella's mom is because here's the information we have.
Mhm.
Her mom has to be a demon because
Yeah,
Marcella's half demon. And her power is that she can control emotions. So I'm like, I feel like that should point us somewhere, but I'm wondering if it's a character that's been introduced yet or not.
I don't know because it's like the thing with controlling emotions, like that's like kind of a house thing.
Yeah.
And so you got the brothers, but like, did the brothers, ever bestow gifts on someone? And like, that just seems to be like a very powerful gift to have as a demon and not be like a prince.
I know. It's got me thinking so hard. We know that like other than Amelia, there's not currently any like princes of houses right now.
Yeah.
Princesses, I mean.
Hmm.
So if it was someone like
But
really high ranking,
also, they're from the Shifting Isles, right? Like they
mhm,
live in the Shifting Isles. So that means either Domenico's dad had to go see a demon in a court, or a demon was in the Shifting Isles for something. And
which
it's
a
like,
demon would have to be summoned.
exactly. And so it's like, that adds kind of another layer of like technicality to like
Yeah.
who did you
And
specifically summon and how did you stumble upon them?
yeah. What if it's Lilith and we
Ooh,
just haven't been introduced to her yet?
okay.
I
What if
don't
it's actually
recall.
the crones
Okay,
or one of the goddess set, like one of the seven sisters?
so maybe they just like think she's half demon, but she's actually
Yeah,
half like whatever they are. They're not
like a
actually
deity type
demons. Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
deity. Ooh,
That could be it.
that could be it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
She's super special.
She is, and obviously she's going to be like really important. But I was like, I just wonder, like, kind of, I don't think, whatever it is, I don't think it's been pointed out for us
I
yet.
don't think so
Otherwise, I
either.
think we would have like talked our way to it.
But yeah, I do think it's someone big like that. Like,
Yeah.
even if it is a demon, like, it has to be like a really high ranking
Yeah.
demon.
And I don't recall them talking about like a really high-ranking female demon yet.
Oh my God. Do you remember that one girl though that like was kind of a cunt to Amelia, like on the carriage ride, and like she's kind of a
Ooh.
social climber?
Yes, I do. But she
What
didn't
if it
really
was
strike me as being like powerful necessarily.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right. I was gonna say, what if it was like a big mistake and that's why she was just like, take this baby?
Oh.
That's the only demon woman that I can think of talking about. So maybe not. That
Because
was
it
just
ain't
a,
Fauna.
but who was?
No, Fauna's just chilling.
She is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it could be.
Super like interesting though.
But I think maybe like one of the seven or whatever they are.
Yeah, this
The sister seven, whatever it's called.
yeah, like the seven. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but
That'd be wild.
hmm. All right, well, something to look forward to getting
Yeah.
our answers to in the future.
Um, Second question. What version of these shifting aisles would you like to go to for eternity?
So, the shifting isles, does it specifically only resemble Italy, or was it just
No, it could be anywhere,
okay,
but for some reason, hell
resembles
looked
Italy?
exactly like Italy.
Could that be because that's like where Catholicism is, and it's
Probably,
like a mockery of, you know what I mean?
maybe.
Um, because I haven't given much thought to this yet because I wanted my answer to be like genuine, you know.
Yeah.
So if I could go, it's basically like any time and place really is like what would end up happening. I do kind of like the idea of this whole like 1400s Italy thing. Like that is kind of dope on its own. I do kind of like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the sky's the limit here. Damn.
I think like if I had to choose something just very peaceful, like for my soul to rest,
Hmm.
I would want to do like a small, like almost something like European, but
Hmm.
like a cute little like cottagey town
Yeah.
close to the ocean that had very bright colored buildings and like shops and cafes.
Which very well could be in Italy.
Yeah, no, it could be, but like, yeah, that's like, I think what would be
What about Greece?
I've never, I don't know.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
Greece
Because
could be
I'm
pretty
kind of
cool.
thinking more like Edinburgh or like
Ooh, okay, okay.
that type of vibe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on like the European vibes. I'm thinking, yeah, a small, cozy, coastal town would
I
be good.
want cozy.
Yeah, cozy for sure.
You can just go sit out in front of a cafe and like
Hmm.
chill.
Yeah, and I do want there to be the ocean nearby. I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be pretty similar to where Amelia was chilling.
Yeah, if we are not creative and we also crave the comforts in life.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like that's all I would want is I would just want it to be
Like a great bookstore.
chill. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, bookstore literally like with a cafe right next door.
Hmm.
There's like a rooftop garden.
Ah, amazing.
Oh
And like a cute little pub that everyone goes to.
my God. Yeah. And
This
everyone's
sounds
just
great.
I want it to be like that Sunshine Falls. Except the Sunshine Falls version
Yeah.
that's in the fictional Sunshine Falls, even though Sunshine Falls is fictional. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be like the idealized, romanticized Sunshine Falls
Same.
of the Emily Henry universe.
I think I need to live in Maine. I think I need to be
Happy
where,
place.
yeah, I think I need to be where they are in Happy Place.
Yeah, I want to go to there.
I want to go to there.
So, long story short, we just want it to be cozy.
I just want to be cozy.
Yeah, that's all we need, and we're happy. Also, I would want to like not have to do anything except for maybe we could work in the bookstore cafe.
Yeah, no, I
Like
think
we
I'd
own it.
want to like own the bookstore.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
I
Okay.
love.
So we live
Okay.
there together.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah, we're going to hell together.
Love it. That does wrap up the Kingdom of the Wicked series. It was truly a treat. We loved it so much. Join us next week. We're going to be doing my favorite thing. It's another installment of Goodreads Bad Reviews, and we're going to be covering all three of the books.
You guys, I'm not excited for what I'm about to find. It's about to hurt my feelings.
No, I love this bit that we do.
It is really funny. And the week after that, we are actually starting the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins. So
Stoked.
I'm excited. Like, we
I
haven't
haven't read these in so long.
since like middle school. So that'll be a real treat for us.
And
But
those are like pretty short too.
yeah, they're not that, I mean, because they're like young adult. So go ahead, get started on that. We will talk to you next time. And as always,
Let's get lit.